Hello and welcome to the Vedic Lunar Scope for the 20th of January 2016 with the moon today in the sign of Gemini and Mrigasira Nakshatra. You know, we've been given this really wonderful gift of consciousness. And part of that gift of consciousness relates to our capacity for sensory awareness. We can perceive things. We can tune into things. Sometimes we think we're tuning into things. Sometimes we think we are perceiving things. And sometimes we're perceiving something quite different. But overall, it's a pretty good gift. And when it works right, it really works right, and it helps us on this path of consciousness. In Vedic philosophy, there is a term for this. It's called manas. It's the sensory mind, and it relates to the moon. So we have this capacity to use this really wonderful tool to help us to grow, to help us to pick up on the cues in our environment and adjust our life in a particular direction, make changes, take particular paths, and actually to do some really wonderful things in terms of what we're put here for. But we abuse it. We misuse it. We use it instead for selfish aims rather than for the purpose that it was intended. Because when we develop the capacity, or when we have the capacity for sensory awareness, we also have the capacity to sense ourselves. And that can be a really wonderful thing if we have a certain level of humility. If we don't have a level of humility, then we begin to think that we're actually running the show, that we're the ones who are in charge. And then when a situation turns out, such as what you're dealing with in the moment, where we become acutely aware of what went wrong previously, we come up with an idea that is very detailed about what we do and what we don't want the next time around. And we try to direct our will towards achieving that specific aim. But if something isn't meant to be, it's not meant to be. The only problem is we lose that sense of humility because we think we're running the show. We pick up on something with our senses, only our senses aren't really seeing things appropriately. Why? Because the ego's getting in the way. Why? Because selfish desires are getting in the way. And when we're able to the level that we are able to, which takes a lot sometimes, I'll be the first to admit, but when we're able to really tune back into that right purpose of the mind, that right purpose of the senses, then if we can apply the focus, if we can apply the level of effort that we have behind that factor, rather than towards achieving what we think that we have to achieve or what we think we should do, then we can actually accomplish quite a lot. Then we can actually shift our situation. But you need to be willing to accept direction. You need to be willing to accept that perhaps you don't know the right way. You need to be willing to throw something away when it's not working and instead adapt and adopt the approach that actually is working. That's one of the things that Mrigasira is all about. When something isn't working, why isn't it working? What is the higher reason that it's not working? And then once you discover that reason that it's not working, can you commit yourself to making it work in the right manner? And what is that right manner? Being aware, recognizing that there may come another point in the future where you have to just kind of scrap everything and make another shift. So you have to be willing to adjust. For that, you have to be willing to have a certain level of humility. The lunar tithi today is Shukla Dwadashi. It's the 12th day of the bright half of the moon. With this particular energy, you do have the capacity to make the right connections. With those right connections, you can put things together in a manner that will help you to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. But if you think that you're the king or the queen of the world, it's not going to work out. Instead, you're going to be shown that you're not. You're going to be shown who is really in charge. But instead, if you're able to restrain yourself, if you're able to have patience, and if you're willing to bring that same level of commitment into alignment with what it is that you truly need to do, then things are going to work miraculously well. Just a reminder about my astrological services page where you can schedule a consultation with me should you so desire, should you so desire. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 20th of January, 2016. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.